Welcome to SNG Tamil Nadu Volleyball League Day 7, match number 13. It's match between Chennai Rockstars and VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers all set to serve the ball. Well, the first point for Chennai Rockstars. Talking about the points table, Kadalu with us are leading in the first position. They played 4 matches and they won 4 matches. They lost 0 and they have 8 points. Chennai Rockstars, who are playing today, have won 3 matches out of 4. They lost 1 and have 8 points. Getting back to match. Chennai Rockstars all with the serve. Well, Vinit Kumar got a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. So scores are level, 1-all. So talking about third position so far in the points table, VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers played 4 matches and won 2 matches, lost 2 matches, have 5 points. And now Parthiban is all set to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. So this match is between second and third standings teams. So VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers got 1 more point here. They are moving on to 2 points. 1 point for Chennai Rockstars. So Parthiban is continuing his service. We have already seen so much of grit and determination from VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers with a lovely team. That's a good rally from both teams. And a point again for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. This time it's Nanda Gopal who got a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Parthiban is all set to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Well, 1 more point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and Parthiban again got a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving to 4 points. Chennai Rockstars with 1 point. We have already seen Chennai Rockstars winning 3 consecutive matches, and especially in the last match where they won all 5 sets. We'll be shortly back after this timeout. Jobin Varghese is all set to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Well, a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving to 8 points. Chennai Rockstars with 5 points. This is the first set, and it's a final match of the league. This is the 5th match for both teams. Both of these two teams have a good opportunity to compete for the 2nd and 3rd standings of the table. Once again a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Well, they are moving on to 10 points here. Nandagopal is all set to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. It's a super point. Super point opted by Chennai Rockstars. Nandagopal's getting ready to serve the ball. Once again a super point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are going to 12 points now. But we have seen Chennai Rockstars rocking the show as far as their previous matches was concerned. They won all 5 sets. So nevertheless, it's very difficult to say at this point of time that Chennai Rockstars are way behind. Still they can come back stronger. Nandagopal is all set to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Once again a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving to 13 points. Oh boy, that's getting really interesting. Nandagopal is turning the tables for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. So viewers who are watching from YouTube Live, keep commenting for which team are you supporting for. It would be interesting to see your support as well for your respective teams. This time for a change, a point for Chennai Rockstars. Santosh for Chennai Rockstars is all set to serve the ball. Well, Vinit fetches a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving to 14 points, and Chennai Rockstars with 6 points. Skipper of VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, Karthik, is getting ready to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. That was a strong serve from him. Ball went out of the court, and a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving to 15 points. So viewers who are watching YouTube Live, keep commenting underneath. Keep supporting your respective teams. We would like to see which team are you supporting for as far as this match is concerned. Karthik is all set to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Well, a point for Chennai Rockstars. Parthiban has smashed the ball out of the court, and obviously a point for Chennai Rockstars. Shrajan Shetty for Chennai Rockstars is all set to serve the ball. So the scoreline is 7-15-7 for Chennai Rockstars, 15 for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Shrajan for the serve. Well, once again a point for Chennai Rockstars. This time Prince made it sure that they are getting one more point here. Hence, Shrajan will be continuing his serve for Chennai Rockstars. Well, a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving to 16 points. The difference between VIRUDHNAGAR points and Chennai Rockstars points is 8. So Chennai Rockstars have to pull up their socks and have to come back to the game. Prasanna is all set to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. There we go. A point for Chennai Rockstars once again. Well, this time with the help of Prince. Captain Ukrapandian is all set to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Well, that's a good dig from Captain Ukrapandian. That's a good rally. Well, a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Vineet Kumar this time for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. And they are moving on to 17 points. So Parthiban is all set to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. That was a good dig from Libero. Well, this time points for Chennai Rockstars. Raman Kumar made sure that they are not missing out this point. So Raman Kumar will be continuing the serve for Chennai Rockstars. The score line is 10 points for Chennai Rockstars and 17 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Raman is all ready. There we go. He's going for the serve. Well, point for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving to 11 points. Like I said, they are the team which can fight hard and make sure that they can try to win this set. Its timeout will be shortly back. Well, we are back to live action. Raman Kumar will be continuing his serve for Chennai Rockstars. Well, Nanda Gopal this time for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Fetched a point, and Virudhnagar Kingmakers for a change got a point here, and they are moving to 18 points. Saju Prakash is getting ready to serve the ball. Well, a point for Chennai Rockstars, and they're moving on to 12 points. Pirai Sudan serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Ukrapandian has dug back the ball well. Well, it was easy point for Chennai Rockstars. That was a good one by Chetan, where he got a point for Chennai Rockstars, and Sudan will be continuing his serve for Chennai Rockstars. Well, Nandagopal did it for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and he has got a point now. They are moving on to 19 points. They are just short of 2 points to finish this set successfully. Well, it's service for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. There we go. A point has gone in the favor of Chennai Rockstars. This match is getting quite exciting for sure. Chetan will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Chetan, young lad, who has done good job as well in the previous match. I'm sure that he'll be trying to sneak through a few points for Chennai Rockstars. This Chennai Rockstars team is strong, as we have seen in the last 3 matches. Well, a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and they're moving on to 20 points. Just 1 point required for them to win the first set. It's a game point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Nandagopal will be serving the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Just 1 point required for them. Well, a point for Chennai Rockstars and they're moving on to 15 points. This contest is all on. Santosh from Chennai Rockstars is getting ready to serve the ball. Once again a point for Chennai Rockstars and they're moving on to 15 points now. I beg your pardon, it's 14 points. Well, there we go. Virudhnagar Kingmakers won the first set. Scoreline is 21 and Chennai Rockstars are with 14 points. We'll be shortly back for the second set. Well, we are back into action. The first set was won by Virudhnagar Kingmakers with 21-14. Chennai Rockstars, they won 3 consecutive matches, mind you, so still they have very good opportunity to come back stronger. Skipper Ukrapandian is all set to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Well, a point here for Chennai Rockstars. Raman Kumar has done it this time for Chennai Rockstars, and they're getting a point here. They have started well with a bright start. Ukrapandian is all set to serve the ball now. Well, that was a smart move by Saju Prakash, and a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and the score side level 1-all. Prasanna Raja for Virudhnagar Kingmakers is all set to serve the ball. Well, there's a good rally between these two teams. Well, a point for Chennai Rockstars. And they are moving to 2 points. Virudhnagar Kingmakers are with 1 point. Raman Kumar also to serve the ball. Well, a point again for Chennai Rockstars. They're moving on to 3 points now. This is a wonderful start. You can see here the court is well electrified with a lot of fans supporting here for both teams. And Chennai Rockstars are with 3 points, and Virudhnagar Kingmakers are with 1 point. This is the second set, and Ramakumar is continuing the second set. Once again, for a change, a point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they are moving to 2 points. Parthiban is all set to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, once again a point to Chennai Rockstars. This is a marvelous one to come back strong for Chennai Rockstars. Prince is all set. Prince is the player who's getting ready to serve the ball. Chennai Rockstars with 4 points. Nanda Gopal this time fetched the point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, this is quite exciting one. Scores are 4-2. 2 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. And Virudhnagar Kingmakers are all set to serve the ball. Once again a point for Chennai Rockstars. This time Chetan has contributed for Chennai Rockstars, and they're moving on to 4 points. 3 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Chennai Rockstars all set to serve the ball now. Well, ball has gone out of the court. Once again, a point has been awarded to Chennai Rockstars. Let us have a look at the replay here. Vinit Kumar smashed the ball out of the court, and a point has been awarded to Chennai Rockstars. Well, They are moving on to 5 points now. 3 points for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Well, Nanda Gopal once again did it for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and score is 4-6. Vinit Kumar is all ready to serve the ball for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Well, the point has gone into the favor of Chennai Rockstars. Thanks to Santosh, who grabbed the point here at the crucial time. Chennai Rockstars are moving to 7 points. It's very important for them to win this set to keep the momentum on, because the first set was won by Virudhunagar Kingmakers, so they have to come back stronger here. Well, Chennai Rockstars serving the ball. Once again, Nandagopal did a miracle for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and Virudhunagar Kingmakers are moving on to 5 points, where Chennai Rockstars are with 7 points. Nandagopal is getting ready to serve the ball for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. The contest is on between these two teams. Well, it's a super serve. It's a super serve, and 2 points for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, because it's a crucial thing for them. And a couple of points has been added into account of Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Well, that was a quite easy one for Chennai Rockstars. Thanks to Santosh. Once again, he has did a good job for Chennai, and he made sure that points are level. Talking about super serve is a ball where it goes without any kind of a physical contact and touches the court, and 2 points will be awarded for that serve. Well, a point here for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving to 8 points. Virudhunagar Kingmakers are with 7 points. Shrajan Shetty is all ready to serve the ball. Well, Parthiban made it easy for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and this time a point for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to Karthik is all ready to serve the ball. A point again for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Scores are 9-all. Chennai Rockstars with 9 points, and 9 points for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Karthik will be serving the ball for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Once again a point for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. So they are moving on to 10 points. But still, Chennai Rockstars are putting a good show here. They are fighting back hard. Once again, Karthik serving the ball. A point here for Chennai Rockstars. That was a good job by Raman Kumar for Chennai Rockstars. Ukrapandian serve the ball. A point again. Parthiban this time for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Got a point. And Virudhunagar Kingmakers are moving ahead. Scoreline is 11 for Virudhunagar, 10 for Chennai Rockstars. Well, it was service error. So a point has been awarded to Chennai Rockstars. Scores are level now, 11 all. Raman Kumar is getting ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Once again a point for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. That was a great job from Vineet. And Parthiban again is getting ready to serve the ball for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Well, it was completely mispassed. And again a point to Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Let's look at the replay here. Well, that was completely mispassed. We'll be shortly back after a break. Well, we are back into action. This is the 13th match of day 7 of SNG Tamil Nadu Volleyball League's first edition. Parthiban for Virudhunagar Kingmakers is all ready to serve the ball. This time, point for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving to 12 points. The Virudhunagar Kingmakers are with 13 points. This is a substitution which is happening. Pirai Sudan is back again into action. He'll be taking the serve this time for Chennai Rockstars. That was a powerful punch from Nandagopal. But there's a big but. Chennai Rockstars got a point here and they are moving on to 13 points. Scores are level now. Once again, Pirai Sudan is ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. A point here for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Well, skipper Karthik is back into action after there's a change in player. Virudhunagar Kingmakers all ready to serve the ball now. Well, a point has been awarded to Chennai Rockstars. That was a definitely good job by Santosh. He is quite knack in doing this kind of a thing to push the ball into the court of opposition team. Chennai Rockstars is all set to serve the ball. Scores are level, 14 all. Well, this time it's Vineet Kumar who has got a point for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and they have gently moved on to 15 points. And Vineet is all ready to serve the ball for Virudhunagar Rockstars. Oh, sorry, Virudhunagar Kingmakers. It's super point. It's a super point which is opted by Chennai Rockstars. And Vineet is all ready to serve the ball. Super point for Chennai Rockstars. Well, they are moving forward with 2 more points into the account. This is getting quite exciting. Santosh will be serving ball for Chennai Rockstars. The scores are 16-15. Chennai is leading with 16 points and 15 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. This match is getting really exciting here at this point of game. Both teams are really fighting hard in the second set. That was a wonderful dig. Once again, a good dig by libero from Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Nanda Gopal this time did it for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. And they are moving to 17 points. They are trying to seal this set as well. Well, Nanda Gopal once again is getting ready to serve the ball. What a fabulous way of getting a point by Nanda Gopal here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. That was a good dig by libero from Virudhnagar Kingmakers. A point here for Chennai Rockstars, and they're moving on to 17 points and leveling the score here. This is both teams' game at this point of time. Prince is back and Presudan is getting back due to the swap of players. Substitution is crucial at some point of a juncture of the game. Shrajan Shetty is all ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Scores are level, 17 all. Wow, that was completely mispassed by libero from Virudhnagar Kingmakers. A point here for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 18 points here. It's timeout. We'll be shortly back. Welcome back to action. That was a good strategical decision to take a timeout. Chennai Rockstars are with 18 points, 17 points of Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Shrajan Shetty will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Can he convert this 18 points to 19 points in the second set of the game? Ball has gone out of the court as Parthiban has gone for the smash, and a point has been added into the account of Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 19 points. Shrajan Shetty is getting ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Well, there's a bit of conversation between referee and skipper of Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, things are settled. Shrajan is all ready to serve the ball. Action is on. Score is 19-17. Chennai Rockstars are leading. Well, this time a point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Scores are once again getting closer as far as the Virudhnagar Kingmakers are concerned. Skipper Karthik is all ready to serve the ball now. Scores are 19 for Chennai Rockstars and 18 for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Can they able to get a point here to level the score with Chennai Rockstars to seal the second set victory alongside the first one? Well, a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they have leveled the score now. It's 19 all. Karthik is returning back to serve the ball. This match is anyone's, especially this set is anyone's set, I would say, at this point of time. That's a good serve from Karthik. Ukrapandi has good dig. And once again a point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 20 points. Just 1 point required for them. It's a game point time for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Karthik is getting back to serve the ball again. It's timeout. We'll be shortly back for the exciting moment of the second set. Stay tuned. Welcome back to action. Virudhnagar Kingmakers, who won already the first set, are also leading the second set with 20 points. And 19 points for Chennai Rockstars. Can they able to get a match point here? Game point here. Can Karthik do it for Virudhnagar Kingmakers? Well, scores are once again level. Chennai Rockstars are getting a point here. They are moving on to 20 points. Well, Captain Ukrapandi took up the responsibility of serving the ball. Ukrapandi serving the ball. Well, a point here for Parthi, and this makes sure that Virudhnagar Kingmakers won the second set as well, alongside the first one. This was a marvelous set of the game so far, as the game went on till neck to neck. We'll be shortly back for the third set. Stay tuned, viewers. Welcome back to SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League Day 7 Match 13. It's third set between Chennai Rockstars vs Virudhnagar Kingmakers. The scoreline so far, Virudhnagar Kingmakers won 2 sets out of 2 sets so far. This is going to be third set. Well, you can see Karthik has gone back and swept a player. Prasanna is all ready to serve the ball. The Virudhnagar Kingmakers. A point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers as Prince tried to smash the ball out of the court. Therefore, a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Prasanna is continuing his serve. Scoreline is 1-0. Prince fetched a point here for Chennai Rockstars and scores a level 1-all. Ukra Pandian, skipper of the Chennai Rockstars, will be serving the ball for Chennai. This is the third set and still Chennai Rockstars have a very good chance to win this match because in this league, 5 sets are mandatory to be played. A point for Chennai Rockstars. They are moving on to 2 points. Skipper Ukra Pandian will be continuing the serve for Chennai Rockstars. Well, there was a service error and a point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and the scores are level 2-all. Parthiban is all ready to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. A point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Saju Prakash fetched a point here. And they are moving on to 3 points. Therefore, Chennai Rockstars have with 2 points, deficit with 1 point. Parthiban is continuing his service. Santosh Kumar once again did a good job for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and they are moving on to 4 points here. I beg your pardon, Nanda Gopal for Virudhnagar Kingmakers who fetched the point there. Parthiban is continuing his service. Ball has gone out of the court and a point has been awarded to Virudhnagar Kingmakers and they are moving on to 5 points here. Parthiban is continuing his service for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Once again a point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and they are moving on to 6 points. They are dominating this game. Well, Parthiban is having lucky arms, I would say. It's a substitution which is happening and Vimal is getting in for Chennai Rockstars. Parthiban will be continuing his service for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, that was service error. Hence, a point here for Chennai Rockstars. Raman Kumar will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Scores are 6 for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, 4 for Chennai Rockstars. Well, one more point into account of Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 4 points. Raman Kumar will be continuing the service for Chennai Rockstars. Well, service error and a point to Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 7 points. Saju Prakash from Virudhunagar Kingmakers will be serving the ball. A point for Chennai Rockstars. Chetan this time for them. Chennai Rockstars are rocking now. Prince is getting ready to serve the ball. Well, that's an easy point for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. Beneath this time got a point for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to score of 8-5. Vinith will be continuing the service for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. That was a service error, and point has been added into account of Chennai Rockstars. So Chennai Rockstars are moving on to 6 points. Chetan will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Nanda Gopal this time is doing a wonderful job for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and he's making sure the team is going on with 1 more point. You should see here the replay. Look at that Nanda Gopal, the way he has jumped up in the air and smashed the ball into the court of no man's land. Look at that power and plotting the spot where to hit the ball. Nanda Gopal will be serving the ball, and a point here for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 10 points here. Once again, Virudhunagar Kingmakers are delivering what are the things required to win a match here. We'll be shortly back after a short break of timeout. Well, we are back here into action. So viewers of this platform who are watching live, keep commenting in the YouTube, in your comment section. Who are you supporting for? Is it for Chennai or for Virudhunagar Kingmakers? It's third set, and Virudhunagar Kingmakers are with 10 points, and Chennai Rockstars with 6 points. Santosh is continuing, so Nanda Gopal is continuing his service. Once again a point for Virudhunagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 11 points. They are taking a huge lead right now with 5 points. Nanda Gopal once again will be serving the ball for Virudhunagar Kingmakers. I'm sure that skipper Karthik would be happy with the performance of Virudhunagar so far. Yet, a lot of things to be done. Service error for Nanda Gopal. And a point here for Chennai Rockstars. They are moving on to 7 points. Santosh of Chennai Rockstars will be serving the ball. This is a good opportunity for Chennai Rockstars to get more points here. Well, once again service error for Chennai Rockstars. Santosh missed out opportunity. One more point into account of VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 12 points. Chennai Rockstars with 7 points. Skipper Karthik of VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers will be serving the ball. That was a good dig from Surendran. A point here for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 8 points. That's the good fight for Chennai Rockstars. Shrajan Shetty will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars this time. Scores are 7-12. 7 for Chennai, 12 for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Once again a point for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 9 points. Well, look at the replay. That was a good defense from Chennai Rockstars player. Shrajan is continuing to serve. Parthiban this time made sure there is no mistake. And a point again for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are cruising to 13 points. Prasanna for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers serving the ball. Well, Santosh made sure that this is my turn, and he has got a point for Chennai Rockstars, and we are moving on to 10 points. Vimal, who replaced one of the players of Chennai Rockstars, is serving the ball. Well, a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 14 points. Once again, Parthiban is serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. A point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers as the ball has gone out of the court. That was a minute difference. Just in case if the ball would have gone inside the court, a point would have come to Chennai Rockstars, but that was unfortunate. Jobin is in, and there's a swap. Chetan is out, so there's a good replacement. I hope this luck would be a huge factor for them. A point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 16 points. Well, Chennai Rockstars have to find somewhere or the other the luck. Luck factor is key for them as well at this point of time, because they already lost 2 sets. Mind you, out of 3 sets, this is the 3rd set, and 2 sets already have been lost by them. Parthiban served the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Well, one more point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. The ball was smashed out of the court. So, yep, it's a power super point. Super point opted by Chennai Rockstars. Parthiban is continuing his service. That was as smooth as butter. Santosh did it this time for Chennai Rockstars. Oh boy. That was not looking like any kind of effort which was put, but he did it in a style. Raman Kumar this time serves the ball for Chennai Rockstars. There we go. Once again, wonderful job by Saju. Saju Prakash. Man, he has got that one crucial point that can turn the tables around, and he'll be serving the ball this time for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. And 18 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, 12 points for Chennai Rockstars. Prince made sure that, oh boy, this is our turn, and we'll be getting a point here, and they are moving ahead. Prince will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Scoreline is 13-18, 13 for Chennai Rockstars, 18 for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Wow. Nanda Gopal again. Oh man, this man is unstoppable. Nanda Gopal did it again for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and got a point here. They are moving on to 19 points. Chennai Rockstars with 13 points. Vinith is all ready to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. That was a wonderful stuff from Santosh. We have already seen it earlier. Once again he did. He got a point for Chennai Rockstars. They are moving on to 14 points. Jobin is all ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Jobin Varghese. There we go. Wow, that was a good rally. Well, Karthik got a point this time for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they are moving to 20 points. Just 1 point required for them to win the third set. Apparently, they are about to win a match as well. We are having a timeout and we'll be shortly back. Stay tuned. There we go, Nitish Kumar, who has commented in the YouTube that can you please display the points table? We can see here on the screen, points table. Well, we are back into action. Just 1 point required for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. A point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they won the third set again. 21-14 is what the third set all about, and Virudhnagar Kingmakers apparently won the matches, but they won all 3 sets. We'll be shortly back for the fourth set. Well, there we go. Nitish Kumar has asked for the points table. Chennai Rockstars are currently with 4 points. Sorry, 4 victories. Out of 4 matches, 3 victories. Cuddalore with us play 4 matches and won 4 matches out of the entire campaign. And Virudhnagar Kingmakers are in 3rd position. Krishnagiri Bulls are in 4th position. 5th, Kumari Phoenix. 6th, Viluppuram Super Kings. Well, we are right into action. 4th set. Chennai Rockstars versus Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Skipper Ukra Pandian will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Well, the first point is for Chennai Rockstars. This is what they want right now. So we got a comment from Sanjeevi Kumar, BKM. Yeah, there we go. Well, one more point in account of Chennai Rockstars. They are moving on to 2 points here. 2-0 is the score so far. Ukrapandi and is having a wonderful time with his serve. The 4th set. Well, a point with the help of Parthiban this time for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. So score is 1-2, 2-4. Chennai Rockstars. Prasanna is all ready to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, once again a point here for Chennai Rockstars. Raman Kumar made sure that they are getting a point and he'll be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. And scoreline is 3 for Chennai Rockstars and 1 for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, that was quite smooth. Vinny did wonderful job for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Parthiban is all set to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Once again a point for Chennai Rockstars and they are moving on to 4 points. Shrajan will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Scorelines 4-2, 4 for Chennai Rockstars, 2 for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Nanda Gopal did an extraordinary job for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and they are moving on to 3 points. Saji Prakash will be serving the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, once again a point here for Chennai Rockstars. Shrajan Shetty made sure this is dash set and they'll try to clinch every possible points. That was a wonderful stuff from Chennai Rockstars. Chennai Rockstars all set to serve the ball. Once again Nanda Gopal did a brilliant job for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Vineet Kumar is all set to serve the ball. A point here for Chennai Rockstars and they are moving on to 6 points. 4 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Santosh for Chennai Rockstars will be serving the ball. Scoreline is 6-4, 6 for Chennai Rockstars, 4 for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. That was simply extraordinary work by Srajan, who was trying to get a point. A point again for Chennai Rockstars. They are moving on to 7 points. VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers have 4 points. Santosh will be continuing the service for Chennai Rockstars. That was a phenomenal job from Raman Kumar of Chennai Rockstars. Once again a point for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving forward and upward. This is an extraordinary game. Its timeout will be shortly back. Well, we are back into action. Viewers who are watching from YouTube, kindly keep commenting. Who is your favorite player, either from Chennai Rockstars or VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, in the comment section. We would like to see who is your favorite player, because you see a lot of wonderful lads are playing well for different teams. Santosh is getting ready to serve the ball again as he continues further ahead. Scoreline is 8 for Chennai Rockstars and 4 for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Well, a point here for Chennai Rockstars again. They are moving on to 9 points. That was a wonderful job from Captain Vukkara Pandian. Santosh will be continuing his service. Wow. Once again, that was a wonderful job by Raman Kumar to get a point here for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 10 points. 4 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Chennai Rockstars are rocking this 4th set, and Santosh will be serving the ball again as he continues his service successfully. So far, 3 sets have been played and 3 sets won by VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and we are going in the 4th set, and currently Chennai Rockstars are leading with 10 points and 4 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Raman Kumar once again did the job for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 11 points. Look at the talent of Raman Kumar. The way he's playing is simply phenomenal. Young lad who's getting opportunity to showcase his performance in SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League. a super point opted by VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Santosh will be continuing his service. That was service error and 2 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. They are moving on to 6 points. Can they able to turn the tables? Nanda Gopal will be serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. This is a wonderful opportunity for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Well, by the time we see the score is moving like as quick as rocket, Chennai Rockstars are rocking again with 1 more point and they are moving on to 12 points. VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers are with 6 points. Skipper Karthik will be a little bit concerned that he can get this opportunity to make sure 4-0. And 1 more point added into account of VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers and they are moving on to 7 points. Karthik will be serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Santosh Shetty commented wow in the live streaming of YouTube. Well, service error for Karthik. A point has been added into account of Chennai Rockstars. 13 points for Chennai Rockstars and 7 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Captain Ukra Pandian serve the ball. Well, the point has been clinched by VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers and 8 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. 13 points for Chennai Rockstars. Kapilan is all ready to set the ball, serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. That was a marvelous stuff from Prince. And Chennai Rockstars once again rocking with 1 more point here. They are moving on to 14 points. 8 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Raman is getting ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Look at that one. Look at that one. Vinit has got a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers and they are moving on to 9 points. Chennai Rockstars with 14 points. Parthiban once again back into action to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Well, a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Nanda Gopal this time into action. What a way to get a point here at this point of time for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. They are in much required for a point and they are moving on to 10 points. Parthiban is continuing his service. Well, a point for Chennai Rockstars. Thanks to Raman Kumar, who has contributed a point into the account of Chennai Rockstars and they are moving on to 15 points now. Pirai Sudan will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Well, it was a miss pass and ball has gone out of the court. A point has been added into account of VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. They are going on to 11 points. Chennai Rockstars are with 15 points. youngster Akash is in instead of Saju Prakash. And we have seen Akash doing wonderful job in the first match of his entry in SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League. That's the way to serve Akash. Well, a point here for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 16 points. 11 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Talking about Akash, he's from St. Peter's School in Chennai. He's studying in 12th standard. Look at him, look at his talent. I'm sure that he'll be pressing further ahead in his career. Well, there's again substitution. Saju is back in. Akash is out. Chetan for Chennai serves the ball. Well, one more point added into account of Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving to 17 points. 11 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. It's looking like this time it's Chennai's time, but VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers can come back. Let's have a look at the further proceedings after timeout. Welcome back into action. We see here in the comment section RVR Brothers Volleyball team. Partha super Thambi. Kandipa super da oru samaya aadindu irukkaru. So we are back into action. Chetan will be continuing the service for Chennai Rockstars, and the scoreline is 17 points for Chennai Rockstars and 11 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. This is the fourth set. Oh, that's a good rally between these two teams. This time Karthik says it's my turn, and he has got a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on further and upward. So it's 12 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers and 17 points for Chennai Rockstars. Vineet is all set to serve the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. A point here for Chennai Rockstars again. Thanks to Shrajan Shetty, who has fetched a point here for Chennai Rockstars. And they are moving on to 18 points. Just 3 points required for them to win this set. Santosh is all set to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Once again, Karthik did a wonder for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 13 points. That was a phenomenal comeback again for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Nanda Gopal this time will be serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Chennai Rockstars are with 18 points, and VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers are with 13 points. There's a difference between these two teams with 5 points. Can VIRUDHNAGAR make it 4-0 as far as winning the sets are concerned? We are watching it here live. SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League's first edition. Well, service error from Nanda Gopal, and a point has been added into account of Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 19 points. Pirai Sudan. I beg your pardon, not Pirai Sudan. It's going to be Shrajan Shetty who will be serving the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Again, Karthik does the job for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. And the score is 14-19. 14 for Virudhnagar Kingmakers and 19 for Chennai Rockstars. Its timeout will be shortly back. Welcome back to live action. We have Sabri back into action in the commentary box. Welcome, Sabri.
Thank you so much, Vijay. A wonderful evening, SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League, where we can see the Chennai's defeat, where they had the first match defeat, and right now they are on the defeat. Now there are 2 defeats for them. Absolutely a good comeback by the Virudhnagar Kingmakers. They have lost the starting 2 matches. After the 3rd, 4th matches, they got it. Victory. That was a turning point for them. They had a good start with the Kumari Phoenix Virudhnagar Kingmakers. That's one of the reasons. Now Mohana Ukrapandi to serve. Meanwhile, viewers, I know you could have told us that the game is done, but this is the rules and regulations which we wanted to tell you. Mohana Ukrapandi to serve. Nanda Gopal to dig, and Prasanna. Vinith banks it on. Meanwhile, I have to tell you, the match is officially over. No, it's not officially over. We have to play all the 5 sets, and each set has 21 points. So all the thing, they have rules and regulations and criteria which has been on the progress. That's one of the thing which we are making it up. And also they have super serve and super point. Raman Kumar has got the touch out. Now this set has been won by Chennai in the difference of 21 and 15. So stay tuned for the last set to be done.
Welcome back to SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League Day 7 Match 13. This is the fifth and final set of the match between Chennai Rockstars and VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers won the first three sets and Chennai Rockstars won the fourth set. It's time for action.
We could see something and happy notes on the VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. That's one of the good things. What a comeback by the young lads. Prasanna Raja to serve, the setter of VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Dig. Shedan. It's an out. Prasanna goes for the continuous service. Vijay, you can see extraordinary comeback from the VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Extraordinary performance too and a good comeback. What do you think is the turning point for them getting a victory from the Kumari Phoenix?
Absolutely. What a combination they are having. Skipper Karthik, Nandagopal, Parthiban, Vineet. They have a wonderful combination who can support each other and they're coming together as a team. I'm sure that they'll be trying to battle for the second and third position in this SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League first edition.
Prasanna goes for the serve. Dig by Raman. And Raman block. Look, the combination of the block from Gautaman and Raghu of VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. That's an exception one. Even though the team Prasanna of VKM goes for the serve. Englad from Chennai. I think it's Deepak making no mistakes for the team. Yes, it's Deepak. Chennai knew where they are lagging it up. Ukrapandi to serve.
Well, once again a point for Chennai Rockstars and they are moving on to 2 points. Scores are level. Ukrapandian, captain of Chennai Rockstars, will be continuing the serve. Once again a point for Chennai Rockstars and they are moving on to 3 points. Well, Chennai Rockstars are back into action from the fourth set. You can see them in a different body language. Ukrapandian will be continuing the serve. That was wonderful stuff from Raghu. He's got a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. The scores are level. It's 3-all. Well, Vignesh is all set to serve the ball. The VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. A point here for Chennai Rockstars. Oh boy, they are unstoppable. Well, Chetan this time for Chennai did it. Deepak is all set to serve the ball for Chennai. That was easy one for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. They stole a point here and scores are level 4-all. Santosh. Not Santosh. Gautam for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers will be serving the ball.
An interesting fact about Santosh. Do you know Santosh haven't played volleyball till his school education got over. By the way, look at the counter attack of the Santosh. He got it up. And Santosh has started playing once he joined his college days in SRM.
By looking at his way, how he's playing, it's looking like he's playing since childhood.
Blocked by Shrajan meanwhile. And also, there is one more interesting point that the Indian player as well as the Kadalur Vithosi captain Jerome Vinith has identified him and took him to the college and made him a volleyball player. That is one of the good things where we can know about the journey of Santosh.
Balaji for Chennai Rockstars will be serving the ball. A point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Sabari, I have a question to you. You see here in Chennai Rockstars, players like Akash, then Jobin, Surendran, Chetan, these are the Vimal, etc. These are the players who are youngsters getting opportunity to rub shoulders with all seniors. Isn't that good platform? SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League.
And meanwhile, that's an in for Chennai. Chetan makes it up. That's the primary motive for the SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball. They wanted to make it all the grassroots players to play and make it a wonderful attention. That's one of the good thing. And look at the opportunity. How many youngsters have been got an opportunity, especially yesterday. We saw a school guy, Akash, has been serving for the Chennai team. I think.
That too you see. He has come as a replacement.
Deepak makes it rebound and Santosh making it up. So listen viewers, we know the match is over, but officially it's not over. The rules and regulations of the SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League is each team has to play 21 points. Whichever team gets 21 points, they get the set. And all the teams has to play 5 sets, a mandatory one, even though they have won 3 sets. Now Chetan to serve. And they will also have super serve and super point. Miss pass. A clean save. Shrajan making it up for the team.
Sabari, there's something which is an interesting thing I noted today. Akash was a replacement for Chetan to serve the ball. And once again he was back after serving the ball. Look at that confidence level what he'll be getting. Which means that he is the man for the serve. What do you say?
Meanwhile, there is a timeout call. We'll call you after the short break.
Welcome back to action. We have asked the question here in YouTube for the comments who are watching this match live. Veeramani says he's supporting Raghu as far as the players' voice is concerned. There we go. Yes, absolutely. Well, a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. And they're moving on to 6 points. Chennai Rockstars with 9 points. Nanda Gopal will be serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. So, will there be a twist in tail? Can VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers get a point here? Well, Chennai Rockstars are rocking with one more point here. Santosh stole the show as far as getting a point is concerned, and he will be continuing with the serve as well. That was a good serve from Santosh. VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers got one more point here. Skipper Karthik will be serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Wow. This combination for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers are going quite good and strong. That was a wonderful job by Srajan. He's got a point for Chennai Rockstars, and he'll be serving the ball for Chennai. Scoreline is 11 points for Chennai Rockstars and 7 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Once again a point for Chennai Rockstars, and they're moving to 12 points. Shathan will be continuing his serve. One more point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving to 8 points. They're getting closer to Chennai Rockstars points of 12. Parthiban will be serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. That was a wonderful job by Balaji. UP is getting an opportunity here through this platform of SNJ Tamil Nadu Volleyball League, and he is proving here that he is one of the players who are really got a talent. Meanwhile, served by Ukrapandian. A point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 9 points. Chennai Rockstars with 13 points. Look at the replay here. Well, Chetan did a marvelous job, but it was unfortunate for Chennai Rockstars. The ball has hit on the net. This time, there's no mistake by Deepak Kumar. A point here for Chennai Rockstars, and Deepak Kumar is all set to serve the ball. Well, this Chennai Rockstars team with full of young bloods. What a talent they have. Balaji, Deepak Kumar, Akash. I'm quite impressed with the young blood of Tamil Nadu. This time, a point here for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. And they are moving on to 11 points. Gautam for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, all set to serve the ball. That was a stupendous job by Deepak Kumar for Chennai Rockstars. Balaji is ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars. Well, a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 12 points. Chennai Rockstars have with 15 points. Regu will be serving the ball for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. That was a good pickup by Libero. Yes, a point for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 13 points. 15 points for Chennai Rockstars. Look at the replay there. Whoa. That was a wonderful job by VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. Its timeout will be shortly back. Welcome back to action. Chennai Rockstars with 15 points, leading here in the 5th and final set. And 13 points for VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers. So far, VIRUDHNAGAR Kingmakers won 3 sets, and 1 set won by Chennai Rockstars. Regu is continuing his serve for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Look at the young blokes of Chennai Rockstars. Deepak Kumar, they all came together and they got a point here. Thanks to Shavan to finish it off in style and get a point here. Chetan is getting ready to serve the ball for Chennai Rockstars here. Scoreline is 16 for Chennai Rockstars and 13 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. There we go. Chetan is going for the serve. Look at that. What a way to get a point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Shakti Kumar. So Regu for Virudhnagar Kingmakers managed to get a point here. Nanda Gopal this time going for the serve. The Virudhnagar Kingmakers, a point again for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 14 points. This is a wonderful opportunity for them to get back on trot. Nanda Gopal, we have seen so far in all 4 sets, he has been a phenomenal, a pinnacle player for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. He has gone for the serve again. That was a good dig by the libero. But the finishing was in style. Regu did it in style. They got a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they have leveled the score 16 all. It's super point. Opted by Chennai Rockstars. Nandagopal going for the serve. Bukra Pandian takes the ball. Well, super point for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they are moving on to 18 points here. That's a wonderful comeback for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. They are trying to fight back to win 4-1 as far as the whole of the game is concerned, because every point matters to them. Every set matters to them. Nandagopal will be continuing the serve for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, service error for him. And a point here for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 17 points. Pirai Suran with a serve for Chennai Rockstars. That was a wonderful job from Deepak. You can see the bloody young blood here shining for Chennai Rockstars, and Pirai Sudan will be continuing his serve. Once again, Deepak did a wonderful job for Chennai Rockstars, and they are moving on to 19 points. This is getting quite exciting. This timeout will be shortly back. We are back into action. We are back into action. Chennai Rockstars with 19 points, 18 points for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Can they able to do it? Well, a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Scores are level. That was a good job from Vignesh We get a point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Skipper Karthik is all set to serve the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Well, one more point here for Virudhnagar Kingmakers, and they're moving on to 20 points. Just 1 point required for Virudhnagar Kingmakers to seal 4-1 set. Its timeout will be shortly back. Don't go anywhere. We are back into action. Chennai Rockstars with 19 points and Virudhnagar Kingmakers have with 20 points. This is the final set, fifth and final set. Skipper Karthik will be serving the ball for Virudhnagar Kingmakers. There we go. Well, a point here for Chennai Rockstars. Scores are level, 20 all. This would be an interesting one. Shrajan is going for the serve. Can Shrajan make it 2-3 for Chennai Rockstars? Well, Chennai Rockstars won this fifth and final set. They are with 2 as far as winning the sets wise are concerned. 3 sets have been won by Virudhnagar Kingmakers. Wonderful victory for Virudhnagar Kingmakers overall. That's it. And we'll be shortly back for the next match. Stay live.
இன்றைய விழாவில் சிறப்பித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற ஜேபிஆர் கல்வி கழகத்தினுடைய நிறுவனர் மற்றும் வேந்தர் மதிப்பிற்கு மரியாதை குமரியை முனைவர் ஜேபிஆர் முருகன் அவர்கள் அவர்களோடு இணைந்து இன்றைய விழாவில் சிறப்பிப்பதற்காக வருகின்ற சர்வதேச சேப்படி சங்கத்தினுடைய நவராத்திரி பயிற்சியாளர் பல்வேறு பயிற்சியாளர்களை தான் சார்ந்திருக்கிற நிறுவனத்தின் மூலமாக உருவாக்கி இந்திய அணியுடைய பயிற்சியாளர் நமது மதிப்பிற்கு மரியாதைக்குரிய முனைவர் எம்.எச். குமாரா அவர்கள் அவரோடு இணைந்து இன்றைய விழாவுக்கு வருகின்ற ஜேபிஆர் கல்வி நிறுவனங்களுடைய இயக்குனர் மதிப்பிற்கு மரியாதைக்குரிய செல்வி மார்க்லெட் ரெஜினா அவர்கள் இந்த சிறப்புமிக்க நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு ராஜபாளையத்திலிருந்து இங்கே வருகிறது. இந்த விளையாட்டுப் போட்டிக்கு ஊக்கமளித்ததோடு இந்த விளையாட்டின் கண்டுகளித்து அமைப்பாளர்கள் கௌரவப்படுத்திக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற ராஜபாளையம் ஆனந்த ஓட்டவழி உறுதியாளர் மதிப்பிற்கு மரியாதை பீமா ஆனந்த் அவர்களை வருவதை வரவேற்கிறோம். இந்த போட்டியை வெற்றி பெற்ற விளையாட்டு வீரர்களுக்கான சிறப்பு பரிசை வழங்குவார். அவர்களை பணிவோடு ஆதரவு பொறுப்பாளர் அழைக்கிறோம். ஜெயலலிதா போட்டி அவர்களுக்கு நமது போட்டியுடைய சேர்மன் திரு அர்ஜுன் அவர்கள் நிறைவு பரிசு வழங்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறார். நமது இந்திய பயிற்சியாளர் பல்வேறு பயிற்சியாளர் உருவாக்கி குமார் அவர்களுக்கு நிறைவு பரிசு வழங்கி சிறப்பு செய்கிறார்கள். ஜெயலலிதா கல்வி நிறுவனங்களுடைய இயக்குனர் நமது மலைக்கட்டு மையம் அவர்கள் நினைவு பரிசை வழங்கி சிறப்பு செய்கிறார்கள். இந்த விளையாட்டை நேசித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிற காரணத்தினால் குறைகள் இருந்தாலும் நம்மை ஆசீர்வதிக்க வேண்டும் என்பதற்காக வருகின்ற ராஜபாளையம் ஆனந்தா போன்றவருடைய உறுதியாக நமது மலைக்கட்டு மரியாதை குறித்து ஆனந்தா அவர்கள் இங்கே நினைவு பரிசை வழங்கி சிறப்பு செய்கிறார். இந்த போட்டியில் சிறந்த விளையாட்டு வீரராக விருதுநகர் தென்மேற்கு அணியுடைய எண் 14 கார்த்திக் அவர்கள் தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டு சிறந்த விளையாட்டு வீரருக்காக விருதை பெறுகிறார். விருதுநகர் தென்மேற்கு அணியுடைய எண் 14 கார்த்திக் அவர்கள் சிறந்த விளையாட்டு வீரருக்கான சிறப்பு பரிசினை பெறுகிறார். தொடர்ந்து கிருஷ்ணகிரி மற்றும் குமரி ஏடி அணியினருக்கு போட்டி நடைபெறுகிறது.